We are here, the first official episode of I Am Brother Face Mason.
This is Brother Gweilo.
And we are the Broheim Syndicate, and this is Broheim Radio. About to talk a whole lot of bullshit about a whole lot of nothing.
A lot of shit. But
a whole lot of it. So how you doing, Brother Gweilo?
I'm doing good, brother. Just here in sunny Florida, doing my self-quarantine, as always. Trying to stay safe, you know?
Yeah, we're over here just staying away from the Walking Dead in New York City, man. That's all it is.
Oh, shit. I saw a couple of corpses already, so...
All right, man. So let's just start this off with something basic, get us into a flow. So what are you playing right now, man?
Well, I'm revisiting The Last of Us. Before I wanted to touch part 2, I wanted to at least play the first game just so I could get reacquainted on it. But I'm trying not to look at any spoilers or any reviews because, like I said, your best reviews are pretty much your own self-opinion. So, like I said, I just finished the main campaign and I'm going to start the Left Behind DLC. So, like I said, that game is an emotional roller coaster ride. So I'm enjoying it.
Are you going to go into the second part right after?
Oh, yeah. I'm going straight right after that. So it's like, it'll stay fresh in my mind because sometimes I haven't played that game in over 7 years. So a lot of the things I remember and some things I forgot. And so I think for me, I'm like a completionist. Like I want a refresher. I want to take this refresher and play the first one right before I could get into the second one.
Oh, well, I'm the one actually playing the second one because fuck the first one right now. Because I'm not going back in time for this one now. But now it's a lot of everything you're saying now is what you're getting in the second one from the beginning. The same type of slow pacing, the same style of storytelling. It really engages you. What I'm loving is I feel like when there are these moments when you have these runners, when you have these clickers in there, and you start to actually feel it, and your natural ability, like your natural inclination is to just fucking go stealth, or and the way the how scarce everything is makes everything much better. Like it's a much better game.
So you're saying that resources are much scarcer than the first one?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the difficulty level will determine your scarcity, but I'm playing it on, I think it's moderate, which is what they want you to start playing at, and shit is pretty scarce. You're getting a bullet at a time, maybe 2 bullets at a time. Parts and stuff, you're getting low amounts. Even if you get the most I've gotten like out of a box was like 11 pieces of parts. The most I've ever gotten of a bullet of bullets is like 3. So the crafting is no different, not really that different. The crafting table stuff with the workbenches to enhance your guns is it's nothing that you haven't seen before. But again, it's all driven by story. The story is great. The relationship that Ellie and Dina have in the beginning, from the beginning to now, is really starting to flesh out. It's cool, and the AI is actually brilliant. I gotta say that.
Okay.
The AI is actually really good. If you pay attention to the AI, that gives you a lot of clues on what's going to happen. As far as if you walk into an area, the AI will call out somebody. So you can see it, and sometimes it will call out and mark a person, so you can actually see everything and kind of figure out what you're going to do. If you do something stealthy, the AI will do something stealthy as well. Like they're doing. I think it's done a really, really good job. I've not had any issues. Maybe I've been playing for about 3 or 4 hours now, so maybe later on I might be flipping out and throwing a controller. But other than that, I can't complain. I'm actually liking it. And is there anything, let me ask you this though, is there anything you're looking forward to playing that's not Last of Us that's already out, if you know of anything?
Man, you're talking to a guy that's basically trying to play his backlog. So, I mean, and I mean, the last one that I played prior to The Last of Us is the DLC for Control, the Foundation.
Okay.
And the Foundation is a pretty good storyline. It gives you pretty much the origins of where the Bureau stands, and pretty much it's like this whole area of the foundation where they kind of do this excavation, but they kind of had to all of a sudden leave it because something happens. But it was very interesting though. I
So
mean,
is it you trying to find out what happened?
yeah, yeah, like pretty much it gives you a little bit like further, like almost like an origin of what the bureau is like,
Okay.
and you definitely you get to see what happens to Marshall because in the main campaign she disappears, but you see where she winds up being,
Okay.
you know. And I mean, and what I like about this is you meet a few new enemies, and you also see well, my favorite part is also the altered items, and if when you play it, there's an altered item where you have to caption. It's pretty much a camera, and if you love I forgot the danger room where I forgot what was it called in the main campaign where the wall shifts. Remember that part where you see the wall shifts like while you're wearing the headset in the main campaign.
Oh, that hotel that you go into. It looks like an old
Yeah.
hotel. Yeah, I forgot what
So
it's called too. But yeah, that with one of the greatest metal tracks of any video game.
right.
Like,
but 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 this one here, it's I won't compare it, but I think it's right up there because think about it as a roller coaster ride with a cool 80s soundtrack beat to
oh,
it.
that soundtrack is so cool, man. Like
Yes.
Remedy does an amazing job. Like, another thing where storytelling is key. They make
Hmm.
everything work out. The sad thing, like I never finished Quantum Break, I think it was called, for that came out on the Xbox, but um I might go back and play that one of these days. But yeah, I gotta get into Control. Like I think after this, if I finish this before Ghost of Tsushima drops, then I'll just go do Control, that DLC first.
Man, Ghost of Tsushima, that I can't wait for that game to come out already. That game is going to be good.
I'm on
I
media
mean,
blackout, man. I've already started it.
I'm calling it game of the year right there. I'm calling it.
That's what we're
That's
doing
it.
now. We're doing
That's what
it.
we're doing. We're doing it.
Oh,
We're
you're going
doing
game of the year with that? You sure not Sekiro? You sure that's not your game of the year?
That was last year.
Yeah, I know. Fucking hate that game. Oh my god! So, dude, let's get to it, man. We got a lot of stuff that just to talk some shit about that we had seen a couple of some time ago. Let's start off with the reveals. So let's start off with the PS5 reveal because it's the most recent and it's a lot. I've read a lot on it. I've read what a lot of people had to say about it. Kind of want to get your take on it, man. So watching that reveal, that whole hour and 15-minute reveal, man, what was your initial thoughts?
Well, my initial thought is first the design. I think the new design for the PS5 is kind of a futuristic PS3 fat because it looks too damn long, man. That's a damn huge system,
Yeah,
and I seen it from what I saw in the picture, and I mean the cooling system, it looks like it has fans all the way around it. So
yeah.
hopefully it'll cool it much faster. And I hope that it definitely corrects the flaws that the PS4 has, which the fan sounds like a like a wind in a way where you feel like sometimes it's, the fan is so loud you feel like wow man I hope this doesn't burn out on me. So a quiet system is pretty good, and hopefully that the PS5 addresses that.
Here's a funny thing. Like I remember when the original 360 came out, which was loud as fuck. I remember when the Xbox One, the original one, came out, and sound was everything. And funny thing, like I had it, and I had a good system at the time as far as like audio, that I would never hear the fan or anything. And even with the PS4 now, like I don't ever hear the fan, but I hear people complain about it all the time.
Also, I guess you're one of the lucky ones then, because I kind of, if I don't clean it every 6 months and you hear that fan go, and you're like, what the hell?
So
Yeah, you don't want anything to happen to it. So, and that's the thing. Like what I like about it, at least it's easy. The PS4 is easy to clean. So as long as
yeah.
you know what you're doing, it's good. And hopefully, this PS5, it'll be much easier to maintain if that be.
Important question here: are you getting the regular edition or the all digital edition?
Oh, wow. Well, let's see. I think I'll go for a physical disc edition. You know,
Okay.
I'm old school. You know, I love physical media, and I'm not saying anything wrong with digital. I think digital is for the people that maybe they might not have the room to store any physical disc, or maybe they just care about playing the game and not care about the collectability of it, which is
Okay.
cool. But for me, I'm a collector first and foremost, and I think that I'm always going to prefer physical over digital. And I'll make a few exceptions on digital
Yeah.
where it'll be DLC, you know, like I said, like with Control, I bought the season pass, and I think it's worth it. It's worth it. Like a game
Okay.
to me has to really be worth it if I'm going to actually shell out $30 for DLC. You
Yeah.
know, because a lot of these games today, they really don't deliver. You know, a good point in that being like Watch Dogs 2. I played the game, we played the game,
Yeah.
and it really didn't grasp me that much. Like I think the only thing that was good about it that you know, that we could play together. But as
Hmm.
far as like story wise, I think it was a little, it wasn't really impressive. And the DLCs that they were incorporating, I really said to myself, you know what, I don't give a fuck. And this game is, to me, was dry, and I'm hoping that Legion, I think it's called.
Legion. Yes.
Hopefully, it'll be a much better experience than the second one.
Well, we gotta see what Ubisoft is doing that's not Rainbow Six and
Mm.
that's not Assassin's Creed at this point. I haven't been really paying attention, to be honest. So it's not like I can't say like they haven't said anything. What I have seen from them is always Rainbow Six. Like that's their big bread and butter right now.
Right.
There'll always be an Assassin's Creed game that's going to be out no matter what. So we know that again their other bread and butter. But you know, we've not ever since E3 last year. We've not heard anything about Watch Dogs at all. Um, is that? But going back to DLC for 2 seconds, when Spider-Man came out, did you buy? Did you bought the collector's edition? If I'm correct.
Yes, I bought the
Oh,
collector's
so that came
edition.
with a season pass for DLC and
Mhm.
everything like that.
Yeah, and it was good. Goodly, I mean, it was good priced. I mean, I think it ran a buck 50, I believe, and that came with the season pass. So I'm like, I'm all for it.
All right.
I mean that game is just a whole different rant for me because as you can see, I'm a big Spidey fan right there. So if you see that, you know, and that's why going back to the PS5, I mean, when I saw that they were going to have that Miles Morales standalone game, I was like, man, Sony, you really don't waste your time. Hey, just take my money already, man.
Yeah, they're not. So let's go down with the reveal, dude. They started off with the as we put it there yesterday, the GTA 5 remaster of remastering.
Oh, the
Where,
remastered edition.
yeah, where they remastered it so much, it's now a mastered remaster. Um, I'm not like I love GTA 5. I thought it was a great game. Not really a big online fan with
Mhm.
GTA 5 online. So that wasn't something I saw and was like, okay, this is gonna make me buy a system, nor is it gonna be something that I continue from this point on to the next one. What do you think?
Well, I mean, for the remastered edition, like I love GTA. Like I have GTA 5 for PS3, so me buying it again, I don't think that it's worth buying again. You know,
And
if
again, don't
and
you
again,
gotta, yeah.
yeah, because I'm having Street Fighter 2 flashbacks. So you know, by the way, looks of it, like I'm not gonna buy it, but you have to make it worth my while. Like,
Yeah,
is there like a couple of new missions you incorporating in this remastered edition that it'll make me want to shell out $40 if lucky? You
yeah,
know, and but if not, then well, graphics shouldn't really be that much impressive because even for the PS3, it's not that bad.
yeah,
You know, I mean, yeah, it's on the PS4, but it's not going to give me any reason to actually buy it again. You know, like you have to, in order for me to buy a game twice, you have to make it worth. I mean, you have to give me something new to reinvest in a game that I already have, something
Okay.
that maybe I don't have or originally that it came out, but now it's incorporated in this new remastered edition. Then yeah, then I will buy it. But if not, then I don't care about playing online. I'm like I said, I'm old school, and I don't. When it comes to GTA Online, I'm not saying it's not fun, but for me, I like to. I'm playing it for the campaign and not for the online aspect of it.
Okay, makes sense. All right, next they revealed what the game that's going to make you buy a PS5, which is Spider-Man Miles Morales edition. We've been waiting for this since we beat all of the other DLCs for Marvel Spider-Man on PS4. How do you feel that it's actually coming out, and what do you expect from it, or what do you like to see from it?
What I like to see from it is, first of all, why can't we have a PS5 Morales PS5 edition? A nice, cool black and red scheme would look beautiful,
Oh,
man.
on that console, fuck yes.
Yeah,
I
that
have to send you the
mock-up.
picture. I think this guy Boss Logic off of Twitter put up a mock-up of. A matter of fact, no, you saw it. You put it on Facebook the other day. Like that would be a cool, definitely a cool look for
Yeah.
like a custom system.
I would definitely buy that, and what would be cool about it, the controls would be black, and then in the controllers, if you remember how they have that blue light going around it,
Yeah.
instead of it being blue, let it be red. Tell me that wouldn't be
That'd
fire.
be sick. Listen, I would get it. I do want a PS5 in black. That's all in like. I want it all in black. It'd be cool, even if it's the black and blue lights, whatever. But I want a black console. That'd be fucking great for me. What do you think, like villain wise, they'll go?
Villain wise, ooh, wow. I
Because based on
wonder.
that trailer, we're not getting like. I mean, I'm not recognizing anything in the trailer. So, I mean, where do we go from here? How does Peter Parker play a role in the story? That's what I love to see.
I mean, I'm wondering, and I mean, this is just speculation. If we're gonna get one villain, I wonder if we'll get maybe Green Goblin. Especially like, I mean, because Miles Morales in the comics is originally from the Ultimate Universe.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if we do get the Green Goblin, but maybe like the Ultimate Universe edition of it or version
I
of
mean,
him.
we'll see. We'll see,
So
man.
it looks. I
We'll
mean,
see.
they're keeping it a secret, like what villains he's gonna face. But from what we saw in the game reveal, I mean, the graphics looks definitely enhanced, and I'm
Gorgeous.
glad that they're actually giving Miles Morales his own standalone game with the same
Yeah.
respect that they did with the Uncharted Legacy, I believe.
Is it Lost Legacy or
Lost
the one?
Legacy.
Yeah, one with the ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in respect to that, they're giving him his own standalone, which is good. Which to me is a perfect placeholder. So when we do actually have Spider-Man 2, which I'm gonna have to get the collector's edition for that
Oh
one,
shit.
and I'm just excited for that. So that game, yeah, I mean at launch, holiday 2020, then I'm definitely gonna get it. That's definitely gonna catch
Okay.
my eye.
Cool. After that, they showed Gran Turismo 7.
Funny thing, man, Gran Turismo, when I had it for the PlayStation, I loved the graphics, but I guess I didn't really understand it being my first racing simulator, so I guess I was frustrated. But I mean, I bought it because the cars looked at that time realistic, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Wow, this is really futuristic now."
Mm-hmm.
So then, when I tried to play, I was like, "You know what? Nah, I'm done with this game." So I traded it. But then seeing Gran Turismo 7
Yeah.
and seeing how far that franchise is, gone, I was like, damn, this really looks good. So maybe I might just take the time out and play this and figure out the mechanics, and it might be a better experience.
It
Especially
could be.
now, I like the experience where you actually are in the driver's seat and you have I think you could play either watching the car or watching from the driver's perspective, which
Yeah.
is really cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I'm definitely I might put that as a maybe on my list to
So
get.
you never played any of the other Gran Turismos after one?
No, after one, I haven't touched it.
Oh wow, dude! Did you play any other racers?
Races, well, I played what I had. I had Ridge Racer for the PlayStation, which I
Okay.
played, and then Rage Racer, which is another good one. It was more of that one was more of arcade, but I like the
Mhm.
customization on it. Like you could customize the car, give it colors. Like basically all my cars are pink and black from the Heart Foundation, so which is
I mean,
nice.
that's cool. You can do that in Gran Turismo now.
Hmm.
So now, yeah, I mean, so like not so from PlayStation to now, let's just say racing games are just not really your thing.
Um, right now, I think I won't say my thing. I just said that I haven't really paid as much attention towards it, but I think Gran Turismo 7 will be that game that rekindles the love, like
Okay.
rekindles that interest in racing games. Like, because like I said, I mean, the only racing games I have are basically I have for the PS1 and well, one for the PS2. I think is Need for Speed, I believe.
Okay.
And that one I got because I had bought a refurbished PS2, and the guy just threw it in there, which I think that was cool.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna play that.
Okay. Wow. So you never played Midnight Club?
No,
Oh,
that's the game, Midnight Club.
oh,
That's the
Midnight
one
Club.
that
Okay. No,
yeah,
Midnight Club is fantastic.
yeah.
Oh my god, I still love Midnight Club. I think it's fantastic. Um, and and you know what's crazy? I'm surprised because remember we went to the Microsoft event
Mm-hmm.
for Forza 7. I'm surprised, and you seeing all that, I'm surprised you never got back into it.
Let me tell you, if I could, if I could afford that hub that guy
Oh,
was
with
sitting on,
the chassis and the roll cage
the
and
ch-
everything.
I'll buy it. I'll be like, yeah, I'm in, man.
The funny thing is, I remember like after we came from that event that night, I looked up how much all that shit would cost, and I realized like I'm not that much of a gamer because I am not paying, not doing that, not now at least.
Mhm.
Okay, next after that we have Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Hell yeah. I mean, I saw Ratchet and Clank and I was like, yeah, it looks really fun, man. You know what it reminds me of in a way, almost what's that game? Oh my God, I can't believe I just Beyond Good and Evil. I
Okay,
believe where you can actually go from planet to planet in a way.
okay,
So with Ratchet and Clank, it looks like he has that ability from going from different, I guess, planet to planet in a way from that trailer from what we saw.
yeah,
And I like his I like his hammer that he uses. It gives you like that stormbreaker feel in the
yeah.
way. And the destruction, the mechanics, how they do the destruction environmentally looks really good. And I mean, for a platformer, I mean, I'm definitely gonna get that one. And I haven't played any previous Ratchet and Clank, but this one is
What?
like, I'm getting this one.
What? Like, how do you what? How do you let that go? Of all the games that you've bought over time, Ratchet and Clank series is the one that's like, no.
That one flew under the radar, man.
How did you? So wait, you played Jack and Daxter, I assume.
No, I haven't played Jack and Dax at
What
all.
the fuck?
Haven't played that.
What? How? Next game on the list, Project Athea, which looks amazing.
Mm.
Oh my god, that game looks so good, man. How do you feel about that one?
Project Athea. I mean, it looks amazing. A beautiful game. It looks like it. I believe it's an exclusive for the PS5. I
Yeah,
believe.
I think
And
so.
again, PlayStation is doing it again with the exclusivity, and they're delivering on that front. And Project Athea is definitely a game that I'm definitely gonna get. I love that.
Well, what people need to see, like they started off after Gran Turismo, the next four games that they announced were all exclusives.
And that Sony doing the thing. I mean, they really want to try to get you invested in the PS5. When they say they want to get you in that transition, they weren't playing. I mean, they're
Yeah,
not holding back when it comes to software. They'll be like, look, we got the system. We want to make sure we have the software for you to play on that
yeah.
system. So
They want your money, whatever it's going to cost.
yeah.
They want your money, and not for nothing, being somebody who's going to have both systems, obviously, um, they're making a great point to sway that way right out the gate. Like the again, I'm not getting Gran Turismo 5, but then the next set of games we just mentioned, including Project Thea, are games that I will be getting just based off the trailers alone and how good it looks. Like, it looks beautiful. The game, we know Miles Morales is going to be fantastic. Gran Turismo, to me, if it's not Forza, it's Gran Turismo, and anything else is second rate. So, like, I'm going to get like that. This 7 will be the game that gets me back into Gran Turismo, seeing that I haven't played since 5. Ratchet and Clank and Rift Apart is that game will get you back into Ratchet and Clank system, but all their games are great. The last Ratchet and Clank was kind of a reboot, and that was fantastic to play. So again, they started off strong. They started off really strong. They got Grand Theft Auto 5 out the way. Like, let's all right here. Hey, we're doing this. This is nice, cool. But everything else after this is just really strong. Going into the next one, which I have on my notes as the cat game.
Stray, right?
Stray, yes. I think you have it with question marks as well.
Yeah, it looks good, but that game, I need to see more of it because it piques my curiosity. But like that old saying goes, curiosity kills the cat. So I'm just hoping it doesn't kill my curiosity, But it looks interesting though. It looks like a game that it's definitely story driven. I don't know if it's basically how you see the world through this cat or whatever, and what he sees, any fucked up shit that he sees, who knows. But it looks intriguing, and I have to put a question mark on it until I get to see some gameplay and find out a little bit more about it.
All right. After that, Returnal.
Yeah, Returnal. That game, wow. I mean, damn, it looks. I love I love those shooters, and I believe from what we saw in the trailer, that's more of a almost like I would say almost like a sci-fi horror game in a way, because you're in this moon planet, and you're trying to survive all the elements and the shit that they just throw at you in that game. You're like, wow, like they almost have like these bullet time where a whole bunch of shit's just coming at you, and the colors is very out there, and you definitely see the graphically upgrade from this upcoming generation compared to this one right now. So
and they're saying, I think it said in the trailer, and I think I read later on, that every time you die, the planet changes.
See, that's another cool thing too. So in reality, it's like, there's so many different ways on playing it. Like, you might have a new experience every time you either pick it up or die.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, Returnal is that I would definitely, that's another game on my list where I put a check mark. I'm getting that one.
Okay, cool. Next up they showed was Sackboy: A Big Adventure.
Sackboy. Wow.
Now, did you play Little Big Planet on PS3?
Nah, I mean, I seen it. I wasn't really interested in it. So so if Sackboy is something like that, I don't think that it's gonna be one of my games on the list. But it doesn't. But I'm not saying that it's not a fun game. But sometimes I think a platformer to me has to really, like I said, catch my interest on it. Like Ratchet and Clank, or like even Little Nightmares is a good one. And I just
very good.
I like that. I like the way the environment looks, and it has that creepy element into it. So that's what I like about that game. But Sackboy, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it sounds like a bad porno movie, if you ask me.
Oh my Lord.
Like, Jesus Christ,
No.
Sackboy.
Yeah, that was the main character for Little Big Planet. I mean, it's adorable. I like it, but I don't. This game, again, I'm not really looking for a game like this, and it might be fantastic. It might be what like Klonoa was, where you thought it was, this kids game. You found it's a brilliant platformer, so it might be that.
Mhm.
Next on the list is Destruction All Stars, which is that demolition derby game that looks like Fortnite and every other game that's out there right now that's stylized in that particular style. Did that interest you in any way?
Destruction Derby. That's pretty much the with the cars and the destruction and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that game. You know what? That I would play that, but with friends. Like I could see it really be cool. Like you have a whole bunch of friends and you play online and you
Mm-hmm.
just trying to like crash into each
Well,
other.
probably the point of it. It's
Yeah.
more of a party game than anything else.
Yeah, like for party game, I would play it. Maybe depending on the price, maybe considering downloading it.
Oh God. That's what it's gonna be, like $30. Yes, I got it. 60.
Got it.
I'm
No, no,
buying
no.
it. Discord.
So,
Okay, so then next one, which you were really big on this game when we talked after the reveal, is Kena Bridge of Spirits.
yeah, Kingdom Bridge of Spirits, man. I mean, damn, that it reminds me of that game for the PS2. I think it's called The Brave, where you're this young Indian boy and you're off to this adventure and pretty much it's you going around and hunting stuff. I mean, it's more of a cartoonish, almost like a Marco Cree in a way, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why I like Kina. Kind of reminds me of that in a way,
Yeah,
which it's cartoony but it's very adventurous, and you see there's a story behind it, and you get to see her going through this adventure,
yeah.
and the gameplay looks really good with the bow and arrow, and you get to use the spear. I mean, it's Kina. Kina is definitely one of the games that I would buy for it. I would definitely get that game for
Okay.
sure.
I'm getting it. It's on my list.
So what would
Definitely on
make
my
you get
list.
that game?
Kind of the same. I have an affinity now for a lot of these these beautifully stylized games. And
Hmm.
for me, like I saw that and people might think I'm crazy. Like it reminded me of when Cameo came out for the 360 as a launch title and how I reacted to that. I had not really the feel of the game, but how I felt about it. And it's gorgeous. It looks fun as fuck. Graphically, it's nice. It's just one of those things I want to. It makes me just want to play it. Like I want to see what the story is going to be, obviously. And I'm in. I think right now on my list I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be 6 games I'm buying for the PS5.
Let's take out that loan right now.
Yeah, right. Oh Jesus. If that, like, imagine if all of these were, if everything they shown were launch titles, I'm broke. I'm sorry,
Bro,
I'm broke.
I'm putting a lien. Put a lien on my house. Fuck it.
Basically. So we got from what we deemed as CW games. Goodbye, Volcano High.
Oh my God, Jesus!
Which
You sure that wasn't on the CWC?
like what? I don't know. It did seem like One Tree Hill the game when we saw it, and I was like, I'm not getting this. I'm definitely not getting it. I'm
Oh
good.
nah.
So we can just act like that we didn't see that one. But yeah, we were hyped about this one. Oddworld Soulstorm.
Oh hell yeah, man! The minute the guy said "Holy fuck," I was in. I was in.
Did you play the PlayStation remake of the first Abe's Odyssey?
Nah, man, because they want like God knows like $100, 120 on eBay for that game. It looks so beautiful, but
It's nice.
damn.
See, this is when you go digital and you pay
Yeah.
$24 like normal people do instead of paying fucking, whatever. Like I think I got it for it was cheap when I bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think was it Limited Run that did the physical release for that game?
Yeah, Limited Run, they did it. They did the physical release for that game. And that was when Limited Run to me was, as collectors, because when we got into it, like it was under the radar. Like we really didn't know much of what limited run is until like we did more research and what they were, and they're pretty much any digital games that came out, if it's deemed worthy of having a physical copy, they'll just put it out there, but in limited quantities.
Okay.
So, so with that, I mean, I've seen it. It looks so beautiful. But
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
when I went to New York the last time, and he was with me. I actually got the first two, I think, Odd Worlds for the PS1.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember you got them.
So
I gotta get them. I gotta put that on my list for retro stuff.
So I definitely got to play those for sure.
Yeah.
But this Odyssey, yeah, I'm definitely getting this one.
Let me see. Next was Ghostwire Tokyo. It was they claimed it was gonna be some gameplay. It was a little bit of gameplay, but more of your basic trailer in it. I know you're not a fan of first person shooters, but still, like, this game, you have to admit, like, look wise, it's definitely something.
Yeah, I may not like the gameplay aspect of it all, but I got to give credit where credit is due. I mean, I graphically wise, it does look it looks nice. You know, it looks very engaging, and from what I like about it is definitely the atmosphere, the city elements looked pretty well. I mean, like I said, like it's so hard for me to play it because it's like I feel like I'm just controlling the camera instead of an actual person that I'm playing, you know, and
Yeah.
that's why I can't really get into games like that. But it doesn't. But at the same time, if it looks amazing, then it looks amazing. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, definitely. Next after that was I think it was called Jet, but the Far Shore.
Yeah, Jed. That one I wasn't really. I think I wasn't really too thrilled about that. I wasn't that really didn't call me at all.
Okay. Same here.
Um,
Same here.
so it's like one of those. We're just throwing it out there just so we can have up numbers type of deal. But yeah, that game. Nah, next.
Okay, Godfall.
Yeah, Godfall. I love hack and slash. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, especially playing like God of War. I mean, even playing like Rise, very good. Godfall is yeah. I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. The mechanics of the game. I'm definitely feeling that.
Okay.
Uh, I think it's gonna be it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a good one. I think it's definitely on my radar of getting. Are you
Okay.
gonna get it though? Are you
Yeah,
thinking about
yeah, yeah. It's more on a level like it looks beautiful. I want to see more gameplay aspect. I don't want to play your basic hack and slash game just for the sake of getting a hack and slash game on any system. Hopefully the combat looks pretty solid, but I want to see what the actual game is about.
Yeah.
And I'll possibly snatch up. Like I got that one. I can't put a check next to that one, but I'm definitely intrigued by it.
So you might have to see a little bit more gameplay to
Yeah, just see
determine.
what it's about. Yeah. Just see what it's about. Hopefully, like in the coming, maybe next month or something, we'll see if Sony has like another state of play or something. We'll see some more of that game. Next is another game that we sat here and was like, we're getting after seeing this trailer, and that was Solar Ash.
Yes, that game. I mean, I love those cell shaded games. I think a game like that, it's like playing art, you know, almost like
Yes. Yes.
you know, like what they did with Streets of Rage 4, and it looks so beautiful playing it. And then when you see Solar Ash, it's like again, it's like wow, this game really looks good. I mean, graphically looks good. Gameplay looks fantastic. I'm just curious to see what's the story about.
Yeah, same here. Same here. Whatever it is, it could be that he lost a soapbox, and I'm going to play it into it. I don't even care. It's that like it looks that good, man. Hitman 3's next.
Yeah. I love the Hitman series. I mean, I played the first two on the PS2. Those are the only ones that I played so far.
What?
To
You
tell you
didn't
the
play the new
truth,
ones?
I gotta go back to my backlog on that
No,
one.
no. You skip contracts and all these other ones. You can do Blood Money because Blood Money is actually really good.
hmm
What was the one after Blood Money? I forgot the name of it, and it's right on the tip of my tongue. But then the newer ones that came out for this generation, which are basically like reboots, are so good. They're so good,
hmm
man. I think if you're gonna go, if when we start backlogging, then you got to forget about the other ones. You got to do these two first.
Yeah,
Matter of
I'll
fact, you can
definitely
do
do
these
that.
two as a lead into part three when three drops.
Okay, so in other words, this new Hitman game is part three, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely part three. So
Yeah,
so the last one I had the last one for the PS4.
yeah. One and two are
Too.
great.
Yeah.
One and two are really really good. I'm definitely happy with what they did with it. And it's so fun. The replay value is so great that you can't help but like, I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna try it a different time and different ways. And like your first walkthrough of Hitman takes so long because you're just looking for every little thing that you can use to as a part of your assassinations. So I enjoyed one and two, heavily enjoyed them. With them doing the part three, story wise, like it's still cool, but I want to see what new features they add to the gameplay aspect of it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, right. I mean, I guess I'll definitely play one and two before I get to play part three. But yeah, I mean, the trailer definitely looks good. I mean,
Yeah,
you could definitely get creative on how you're gonna reach I guess your assassination targets. Like
exactly.
that's what I love about the Hitman series, where you get to use different disguises just to get close to that guy, which
Yeah,
is great.
but the cool part is when you don't switch at all and you just do a suit only, and you're
hmm
just trying to get in and do what you have to do and get out. Though that's so fun. Next on there was Astro's Playroom, which we really didn't care about.
That's the PS4 mascot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, nah. I think I might pass on that one.
I don't have kids. That's all I have. I don't have little kids. That's all I gotta say. Like it's not my game. Next one was Little Devil Inside, which I fucking
Mm,
geeked out for. I thought it
yeah,
was great.
that game. I think it's definitely it's dark for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely got my interest. I mean, I'll get it, but I think I want to see a little bit more gameplay and just to see just to make sure that's going to be a
is it
game
worth it?
that's is it worth it or not.
Okay. Then it was Bug Snacks. And
Bug snacks. I'm sorry to laugh because every time when I hear that, I swear I hear someone say it's bug snatch. I'm like, who fucking came up with this shit?
and I didn't. I thought something totally different, and I that trailer did nothing for me. It's we'll probably get into it after we do the Xbox reveal and the play reveals. That
hmm
how a lot of some of these types of games like don't grab me anymore or never really grabbed me, but you always got to have one or two of these games geared to another demographic in your reveal. So I'm not mad. uh Demon Soul Remastered,
Mm.
another remaster.
A remaster of a remaster.
Well, they had never remastered that. They did the Dark Souls series,
Mm.
but Demon Soul was the first one on the PlayStation 3 that was originally exclusive to the PS3.
Mm.
And then
Yeah.
Dark Souls came out because Demon Soul was so big. Dark Souls dropped 1, 2, and 3, and then now Bloodborne in the middle of all that because they're all in that by From Software. Um, I didn't like the game or care about the game when it came out on the PlayStation 3, so I really don't care about it now.
Mm. I never bought it for the PS3, but I'll wait to see how it's gonna look on the PS5. Because I think they just show a trailer on it,
Yeah,
so
that was just a trailer to
yeah.
announce, hey, this is what we're doing.
So I want to see gameplay, and if it's good, I think I might I'll snatch it up because I mean when it comes to difficulty games like that, I mean I'll give it a fair shot.
Okay.
Like I know a lot of people. I know you yourself didn't like Sekiro, but
Nope.
it's a game that I mean I'll play it. I might hate it, but I'll be like,
No, I think you'll like it. You'll like it, and then you might try to like. You might end up getting me to play it one more time and give it another shot. I just wasn't a fan of it, but that's just me.
but they had a good $80 collector's
Oh
edition.
god, that collector's edition is great. It's
They
so
got me
good.
there.
Yeah, that shit is still nice. Like I'm not mad at that portion of it. If it's
Like
a
I want,
shitty game, if it's a game that I hate, or I just can't stand, but the collector's edition is fantastic, I just might buy it.
yeah, you're
Just
like, you
might
know
get it.
what? You got my money,
You
but
got
damn
me.
it, you
You
got
got
me.
me.
Shit.
Next was Deathloop by Arcane Studios. That's the studio that made Dishonored 1 and 2.
hmm
Uh it's a really awesome game. It looks awesome to me. I love the Dishonored series. I one of the few games that I like this generation that I replayed to try different things. Um Deathloop looks like a game that's going to be the same. What's your thoughts on that, dude? Give me some.
I mean, the concept of the game is good. Like I said, this the first person aspect that didn't really grasp me, but I like the part where you could at least go in time and correct any mistakes.
Mhm.
If you die, you could try to go back and try to prevent yourself from dying.
Yeah,
It reminds me of that Bruce Willis movie. I think it's called Looper. I think it
Looper. Oh,
was.
that fucking where.
Yeah, that's pretty much what that game is. You're like, okay, but yeah, I mean, I watch a gameplay of it though. I
Okay.
mean, I won't.
I mean, we'll be playing it on the channel. It's no big deal.
Mhm.
We'll definitely be playing it. Um, Resident Evil 8: The Village.
Wow, RE8. Wow, not really a fan of 7, and like I said, this one being another first person. It's a different game. Trying to really look at it, it's a game that it's kind of straying away from what Resident Evil is because now we're dealing with more, I guess, supernatural aspects of it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of it being these like mutant like laboratory monsters being made genetically. Now we're dealing with werewolves and witches, and I'm like, are we playing Resident Evil or are we playing Silent Hill? You know.
I saw people, and a couple people I knew, that first thing they said was Outlast 2, but it
Mhm.
felt like that. But after seeing that trailer for Resident Evil, that I remember that first Resident Evil 7 trailer, and it made a lot of us think about, the Blair Witch, or even kind of a Silent Hill type thing. And it ended up being something totally different than what we thought. So the trailer for this didn't grab me where I can go like, oh, I'm definitely getting it. Knowing that they did it before with 7, I want to see what they do with 8. I want to see what the trailer is going to look like. I mean, what the gameplay is going to look like. How are they continuing off the story from 7? If they're continuing in any major way, they try to get people hyped with that appearance of Chris at the end of the trailer. That didn't do anything for me because we just saw him in the last game. So
Mm.
it wasn't. Yeah, now it actually looks like Chris Redfield and not just some dude in a suit. But whatever.
But do you
Um,
feel do you feel by watching the trailer, are you worried that maybe Resident Evil might stray away from what it's supposed to be? I mean, besides zombies and you're like they're going into this supernatural element of it.
well, we don't know. We don't know because Resident Evil 4, even though Resident Evil 4 became, was the game that made Resident Evil into a shooter and less of a survival horror game, Resident Evil 4 had a lot of aspects that came off one way, but really was going into the plague and everything else. So if, again, basing it off of 7 and seeing what 7 was, all I can do is wait and see where Capcom is going with this before I can sit here and go, like, I'm definitely not buying it. If we're just basing it on a trailer right now, it didn't grab me. It was like, okay, this looks nice, but I'm not even like intrigued to go like, oh, if it's this, I'll buy it. I just want to see what they do with it and see if it convinces me to spend $60 on it.
Well, I mean, when they do the remake to Code Veronica, that's a $60 well spent right there. So
$1,000. What are you talking about? 60. Buying like 3 of the collector's editions immediately.
So yes, you have every version of that game,
Yes,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that just says it all right there. Like, is that your favorite Resident Evil game?
I don't know why. Yes, it is. I don't know why. Like, what is it about it? I don't know. I have no clue why. I can't even be like, oh, it's the first Resident Evil I beat because I beat them all. So it wasn't that. It's. I just felt Code Veronica was great. If you cut off a couple of hours, there's some moments there's some time you can shave off the way they shaved off a lot of time with the Resident Evil 3 remake. But I just think all in all, I felt it was a better Resident Evil game than any of the others at the time, and not even technology wise. It just felt the story was really cool. It took you back to a lot of the original stuff with another mansion and stuff. I thought that was great. Claire having her own story, Chris having his own story, and then bringing them all together. I love what they did, and I love how the choices in one area impacted the choices in others the same way Resident Evil 2 did. Having these two characters, so I like how they kept that going, where you can basically not even progress if you don't do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that about it. And it's just, so after that, I think I played it. I had played it so many times when I had it on Dreamcast that it was one of those games I had to have. Like I just love playing. And when I got into retro collecting and getting all these old games back, like Code Veronica was, I think, maybe the first 5 on my list when I went and got my Dreamcast back.
Wow. Okay. So would it be so the best version of that game would happen to be on the Dreamcast, you think?
No, I mean, so Code Veronica X, which came out for the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube, respectively, they have newer cutscenes they added to it. They added nothing as far as like creatures and stuff, but like a couple of new areas or whatever that to again flesh out the story, but nothing crazy where you have to have this version over that version. It's not how what the fuck was it? Oh my god, how Metal Gear MGS4, the GameCube, the Twin Snakes is totally different from
the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, it's kind of on that level where I'm recording.
No, we just keep going. Fuck it. We'll edit it out.
Oh my god, hold on, man. I'm recording. Fucking
people. Good thing we're not live.
God. I knew it. Cause I was like, yo, I told Shauna, like, yo, I'm going to be recording later. Don't come in here. I knew it, man. Anyway, let's go back to so yeah, going back to that. So like it's not that major difference the way Twin Snakes looked over what do you call it, over the original Metal Gear Solid.
Oh,
so
okay.
I can't say that this one is definitely better, maybe graphically better, but they're all about the same. No major differences. The next one was Pragmata.
Another game that they just showed us a game trailer. It looked interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, but like I said, I need to see gameplay. I need to see what this game is really about, because they just like throw this trailer out there, and it's enough to get your curiosity going, but
Yeah,
it's not like, like, wow, what's this game really about? How is this going to be played?
yeah,
But I would put that on my question mark list as to visit that back when we actually have gameplay on it.
yeah, yeah. And then the last game they showed before revealing the console, which we'll get into too, is or which we already talked about actually, but Horizon 2 Forbidden West,
Oh yeah, that
which
game.
was the perfect way to
Hmm.
end this reveal outside of
Yeah,
showing the actual console, of course. But as far as a game is concerned, like that's the perfect game to give us to say goodbye for for the end of a segment. Uh, how do you feel about Horizon 1, and then
man.
and then seeing Horizon 2 coming?
I remember when you was playing Horizon 1 and you was telling me, "Yo, Al, you got to play this game. Screw whatever you're playing." I'm like, "Okay, I'm almost finishing whatever I was playing at the
Forgot where
time."
you were playing at the time too. Well, it
Yeah,
was a backlog game. I think you were
it
playing.
was. It was. And the thing is, I believe when you told me to, to check it out, and I saw some gameplay in the trailer, and I was like, wow, this game really looks good. It's a RPG, and I love RPGs. I like real time.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, you know what, let me go and get it. And then when I actually bought it, the way I play games, working and stuff like that, that game took me what, 6, 7 months to beat.
6 months.
But it was so good because I'd be on one. If I have to go to this next level, and if they recommend they have to be level 8, I got to try to go at least 3 levels above
Yeah,
that.
a lot of grinding.
Yeah.
A lot
So
of
yeah,
grinding.
the grinding was fun as hell though, man, and the story was so compelling that it was touching in a couple of scenes where when you find out with Aloy and when you visit the actual lab that she was actually made from,
Yeah, yeah,
and then when you see the body of the person that she was actually cloned from.
yeah,
I mean, those things were a very good story, man, and I love the decisions. Like I made her, well, the decisions I made when it came to her mentor. Like I was such a dick because I made it seem like you left me. You're supposed to be a father figure. Fuck you.
oh, that was your thing. Like
That was my thing.
that's
Make
how
him
you
feel like,
felt.
yeah, made him feel like shit. And then when he died, like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I'm sorry.
Just crying. Is it why?
Bye.
Then Novella crying. ¿Por
¿Por
qué?
qué? And you hear the music in the background. But yeah, but
oh,
seeing part 2 and transition to that,
yeah,
I mean, I'm expecting good things. I mean, that goes without saying. I think we both said like, hey, this is going in our list.
definitely, definitely.
I mean, the way it really does show the power of the PS5 and what it's capable of doing. And Horizon Zero Dawn is a good inaugural game to play on that system.
Yeah,
And
to see that, I wonder if they're going to do a remake of that one or make that one backwards compatible. To do something as far as a lead in into Horizon 2. I think that'd be cool.
if they smart, I think that should be part of their backwards compatibility log,
Hmm.
because I mean, because you will have to play, if you want to find the story of Aloy, and let's say even if you don't have a PS4, I think PS5 should be that game should be allowed to be backwards compatible on the PS5,
Yeah,
because you're gonna have a lot of games. It's not going to be as illustrious as the Xbox
yeah.
backlog, which I guess we'll get into that in later on. But
Hmm.
I think that if I was Sony and if I had to choose which games are allowed to be backwards compatible, then Horizon would be that game.
Okay.
Would be that game.
Yeah, it should be. I think it'll end up being possibly that their studio games, their PlayStation studio games, will be backwards compatible, and then
Hmm.
third parties as they go. All right, so going from that one, let's talk about the Series X reveal from May, and it's been talked
I
about a
like
lot.
that.
But we decided to watch them back to back to get a better feel for kind of like their first set of arguments in a debate for which way to go.
Yeah, like for the Xbox, I do believe they're more of a consumer friendly company. I think that's the route that they're going when it comes to this generation because they're not punishing you if you don't buy a Xbox Series X, and that's where that delivery system comes in handy,
Yeah.
which I recommend them for that. And I think if I let's say if I only have $500 to choose in my pocket, which let's hope that that's going to be the price, I would I would choose I would choose Microsoft just because they're looking out for my pockets.
All right, so
You know.
let's start with what they. So the first game they showed was Bright Memory Infinite, which was that game. What is the name? I think it's XYQD Studios, which is that one guy
Mm-hmm.
who's making this game on an Xbox. I don't know if this is something that's going to be part of their idea at Xbox program, or they're just taking it like it's a full AAA game. But for one guy building this game looks fucking fantastic.
Yeah, from a one man show, I mean, he sure put a lot of, hard work and effort into that game.
Yeah, definitely.
Like graphically, like I said, it looks good. You definitely I like that you could do all these different things where you could switch from guns to this grappling hook and switch guns at random.
Yeah,
You know, like I
it's
said,
seamless too. Like it looked like it
hmm
animated beautifully. Like it felt It looked like it feels seamless to do everything that he was doing in that game in that demo.
yeah. I mean, like I said, it's not my cup of tea again, but I would but like I said, graphically, I can't take anything away from it. It looks good.
Mm-hmm. All right, next on it was Dirt 5.
There are five. Going back to the whole racing genre and how I said about Gran Turismo 7 might be that game that would lure me back into the whole racing aspect of it. Their five looks fun as hell. It has that when you race, you're in that dirt pit and you see the mud and it gets on the car and it has that grittiness to it, and
Okay.
it looks definitely like a fun arcade game. It looks like something you could actually pick it up casually, and it's something that you don't have to worry about knowing certain things. You just push the button and you're good to go.
That's
So,
it.
oh
That's
yeah,
definitely
I
it.
mean, I would put that on the list.
All right. Scorn, which is
Mhm.
this HR Giger style game that was announced in 2017, and then we didn't hear anything about it afterward. And now Microsoft shows it at their reveal as something that's coming to PC and to the Xbox One.
Man.
It's just a trailer we've seen. No gameplay or whatever. But from that trailer, like, would that be something you'd be interested in seeing?
Um, the trailer looks like I said like you said it's off for HR Giger type artwork. It's disturbing. It's definitely it interests me. I would play it, but I think I would want to see gameplay too.
Yeah.
I want to see how this game is gonna be played game wise. Because I mean by the trailer itself, I mean it's great. Like it reminds me of watching like Aliens in a way.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking like, wow, maybe they might have a xenomorph coming out of nowhere, in the
Or something along
background.
those lines, right?
Yeah, I mean, it looks good though. I mean,
Okay.
but I definitely want to see a little bit more about that.
All right. Chorus is next. And so all these games, we preface all these games when they were shown with a little thing that said that all these games were optimized for the Series X. So I guess just like they did it with the PlayStation reveal, we'd assume that this was running off of Xbox 5, the Xbox Series X development kits, and even though this was, part trailer and part gameplay, this game looked fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like this really, really looked good as far as like just colors and space fighting and everything else. Obviously there's no story beats here, but it was something that I looked at and was like, okay, we're getting.
Yeah, I think that's one that kind of had that shmup element in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does look good. I mean, the space fighting definitely looks good. I would definitely be interested in playing that and definitely have it in the collection.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see. Well, I just wonder what's going to be the main story too. That's
Same.
definitely another one.
I'm saying,
But
yeah.
but gameplay, yeah, I think it's definitely a buy in my opinion.
Okay, so then next on your list, your favorite game of all time, Madden
Oh,
21.
Madden 21. Oh, I got to pay $20 for a haircut, bro. I want to pay $50 for a customized jersey just with my name on it.
Why not?
Hey, why not, right? Yeah, I'm all for it. I want to see HD sweat. As a matter of fact, when I take a spray can and every time you see that sweat coming down the guy's forehead, I'm going to spray my fucking
you can
face.
feel
Feel
the
that,
sweat.
Feel the sweat, man.
Feel it.
And I don't got to.
It's nothing new. It's Madden. I mean, let's be honest.
It's Madden.
That's all. After that was Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which had that weird trailer with the guy dancing with the bodies, with the marionette bodies.
With the Jesse Eisenberg character.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Yeah, right. But yeah, the gameplay looked pretty cool, but I've never really gotten into the vampire games, so I can't really say that this is a purchase or not.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not going to be a purchase at all. I'm not gonna. I mean, it doesn't. That even watching the gameplay, I mean, it's not. It's not really. It doesn't call me. I can't even say it's good, or I'm not going to say it's bad, but I'm just going to say that that's a game that doesn't even call my attention. It's not like one of the best PS2 games that I played vampire wise was I love the first Blood Rain. I don't know if you ever played that.
What Legacy came? No, Blood Rain. I know Blood Rain. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I know exactly. Yeah, okay.
That was really good on the PS2, and you had to kill these Nazis and stuff, and I mean, story was crazy though. I ain't gonna lie. Like a lot of the bosses were kind of crazy, but that's one of my favorite vampire games. But this, I would say, a lot to be desired in my opinion.
Didn't they make a really shitty movie?
Oh yeah, they did. I actually have it on DVD.
Oh God, what's her name? I keep forgetting her name. Who also played in Terminator 3 as a Terminatrix, as everybody deemed her to be.
Yeah.
Oh God, what's her name? I keep forgetting her name, but yeah, that movie was horrible too. Christina Loken.
There you go.
Or I might be pronouncing it wrong, but whatever. Next was Call of the Sea.
Call of the Sea. Call of the Sea. I think I have it down as I want to see more of what that game is, because I really don't want to be like another Sea of Thieves,
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm gonna have to revisit, and hopefully they'll show us what it is. But I put it as an uncertain maybe.
Oh, uncertain maybe. Okay, then next was The Ascent.
I love them. I fucking love them. And I believe you said it was just an exclusive, right?
Yes, that's what I read.
So this is smart on Xbox. They're at least giving you a little bit of exclusivity. But The Ascent, I mean, Yeah, I mean, it has the horror elements to it. It looks disturbing,
Yeah.
and definitely is one of those games where I definitely want to play it in the dark. So yeah, The Descent on top of my list right there.
Okay, the
Are you gonna get
medium.
it?
Yes. Oh fuck yes. That's no doubt in my mind. Yeah. That comes in that
Mhm.
right in the collection. Uh and I can't even say anything else because you said it all. Like we were getting there's certain types of games you don't really see during like that first launch cycle, and we're starting to see it on Xbox side.
Mhm.
The medium was next. That's the game that has this weird Silent Hill vibes and it is being music is being composed by the original composer of all the first two Silent Hill games.
Yeah, so we talk about back-to-back horror games right there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, to get the composer from Silent Hill and would because I do believe music, it sets up the tone,
Yeah,
and when you want to play this game, it's like you want to feel creeped out, like you when you go down a corridor, if you reach an intersection, you're like almost hesitant to keep going forward because something is just going to jump out of
yeah.
nowhere. But the medium, I would get that game, put it on my list to play.
Ooh, wait, hold on, wait. I think we got the games wrong. The Ascent is that over the top game. Remember
Hmm.
that
No,
not the
no.
horror game. The
Oh, you
medium was
said
the horror one. Yeah, the
yeah.
Ascent I
Okay,
forgot. The Ascent, and I remember this now. The Ascent was the game with the top like this.
over the top shooter.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's the one that
Yeah,
we that was getting that one.
yeah. I like the over top shooters. Like I haven't played the Darksiders Genesis yet, but it looks fun though.
Yeah, I want to check that out when I get a chance to. Yeah, the medium is definite as far as horror is concerned. Scarlet Nexus is the that quote unquote hack and slash the one with the anime characters in it.
Yeah. I would get. I like that game. I would definitely want to play it and get it. It kind of reminds me. What's that game that came out for the Wii? That's like it's just like a cartoon but hack and slash, a lot of blood and guts.
I got
I,
it.
you
It's
know it.
Platinum Games. I'm looking at it. Where is it? Mad World.
Yeah, I kind of get that vibe in a way. But yeah, but I would play it, and I would definitely buy it. I like the animation, and and it looks, like I said, it looks really really good, and especially the gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, graphically it's gorgeous. I want to see more
Yeah.
about it, but and then we already know a couple. We know one person that's getting this game, and we had a conversation about this the other day with them, and that is Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yeah, Yakuza. That's definitely goes without saying. Me, I bought the Yakuza collection, the one that came out for the PS4,
Okay.
and it's cool because we had that conversation before. We'll talk about lost genres and how the beat 'em up genre was pretty much almost like a lost art until
Mm-hmm.
we saw this resurgence in Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah.
And but the Yakuza series is definitely almost a good callback to that, even though it's in
Yakuza has
3D.
never stopped. Like that's the one thing. Like
Yeah.
that's the one franchise. Like, listen, we're gonna do beat 'em ups. We're gonna do them our
Hmm.
way, and it's gonna be this crazy thing. However we do it, it's gonna be a wacky story. But fuck it.
Hmm. Oh yeah, I mean wacky. I mean it's out there. Like the one of the main bad guys looks like, well, remember Carlito from the WWE with the hair and stuff. So I'm all in. I'm going in on
For
that game.
Carlito, I'm done. Okay, and then last and least for the show was the gameplay trailer
Mm.
for Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Well, I know somebody's getting fired. I mean, how the hell are you gonna end off a show saying that we're gonna give you gameplay for the long-awaited new Assassin's Creed game, and then here we're sitting down watching this thing, and all it was is a glorified trailer. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm like, really? I'm like,
And then come back and we'll show you some more another time.
yeah. I'm like, this is how you gonna end it? I mean, you know what? Either that guy, they crunched the shit out of him and he's lost his mind, but he gotta go. He gotta go.
He's gotta go. He's out. You're done. You're done.
You're fired.
So let's talk about. So you mentioned it earlier before. We talked about, you have, for the sake of argument, $500 to spend, and we're looking at, we can spend this on a system. If we're basing it solely on these reveals right now and nothing else, you have a system that's coming out punching strong with that PS5 reveal. And they didn't pull anything. They gave us everything we wanted and some more news, some new shit that we really like. We kind of just put check marks immediately next to. Microsoft on the reveal end, not only have they, with the game reveal, but even like the system reveal and how they've gone all out in telling us about that system and what they're planning to do. Game wise, there's only a few games that we looked at and put check marks next to. But then one of the things, like you mentioned earlier, that was skewing your decision is how they're looking out for the consumer in a way with not only game, like backward compatibility on games, but back compat on peripherals.
That's a big thing.
So how does that affect you? Like where would you go right now if we were talking about the system comes out tomorrow? Where are you spending your money?
Well, I guess like I said before, I definitely like the aspect of how Microsoft is looking out for the consumer and it's not punishing you if you don't own a Series X yet.
Mm-hmm.
But a guy like me, like I said, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and I just have to have that Miles Morales game. And I mean, that's I've been a Spider-Man fan forever. For like forever.
Yeah.
And to see a good Spider-Man game, I I need to play it. Like the only bad one that I ever played was Part 3, and that was the worst. But
apparently you didn't play Spider-Man on the NES then.
NES? No, I never had it on the NES.
Oh,
No, and I never had it on Atari neither. So
let's not talk about that either. Like, I think it was on a couple that really good Spider-Man game that was on the Genesis.
Maximum Carnage?
No, the one before Maximum Carnage.
Oh, that one, yeah.
So I think there's like a Game Boy version. There's a couple of the console versions of the game. It's horrible.
Oh, the Spider-Man versus the Kingpin, which I heard the Sega CD one was much better than the cart.
Listen, we might have to put that on the list too. that goes on the retro list.
Yeah, but I think besides if it wasn't for that game, with the peripherals being a big thing on the Xbox and them looking out for my pockets, if it wasn't for that game, I will go with Xbox, and that's my God honest truth.
Wow. So what's literally swaying you from jump is Spider-Man Miles Morales.
That's it. That's it. What about you? If you have $500?
So I'm going to go PlayStation for one reason, and that is because, again, thinking like, let's just say these are the games that would be dropping, or a good number of these games would be dropping with at launch or within a launch window. What they showed us was a lot more promise on the gaming front. Those games that we can sit here and go, these are exclusives. Like those first 4 exclusives are fantastic games, and it gives us something to play. Like it's one after another. So it's like if I wanted to play Spider-Man Miles Morales, I'll play the shit out of that. Gran Turismo 7 is something I'll play and put to the side and always come back to. Ratchet and Clank is another. It looks beautiful. I know how to branch games. Like they're not going to change how the game plays. It's going to be great. Project Athia just like it looks like an amazing adventure game. So just those 4 right there, if they came out in that launch window, I'm good with that. I think I'd be great with that. And then going to, we know that Bright Memory Infinite, because it's one guy, like it's not coming out anytime soon. It's going to be a minute before we get that. Dirt 5, I've not been a real Dirt fan, so it's not like I have to have that one. Scorn won't come out this year. Chorus, we don't know anything about as far as like if it's 20. I didn't realize it was 2020 or not. If these, some of these games might be 2020 and I might grab them, but as far as like a fun fact, like right now, a bam in my face, like Sony's reveal made me go like I might buy a PS5 first.
So it's basically the slew of games or exclusive games that Sony offers is what is swaying you to get a PS5 first.
Right now, yes. It's not even that they're yeah, well, obviously they're exclusive and that helps. Because again, I haven't looked at which system I'm going to go to as far as multi-platform stuff is concerned. I said it earlier in the podcast, like I'll be getting both systems. That goes without saying. But as far as what I'm going to get first, like if I don't snatch them up both and pre-order them, get them both at the same time, if I could only spend the $500-$600 possibly for a system, and knowing that these games are coming like one after another, then yeah, the PlayStation is the way to go, because we really don't know anything about Halo Infinite right now with Microsoft. Nothing at all. Hellblade 2 looks like it's going to be a launch title, and I'll definitely snatch that up. But do I look at Hellblade 2 and go, I'd rather play that over Miles Morales? No. Do I look at any of these other games that they've shown with the Ascent looking awesome and Medium looking great? But do I look at any of those games and put them up against these games that are either timed exclusives or exclusive and go, yeah, I'd rather play this over this? And the answer is no. Like what Sony's showing, they're outing right now, if I had to hope that these would come out in the launch window or whatever, like Sony right now is killing. You got to admit, like that reveal was much better than Microsoft's. And forget about the length. They decided to do an hour and 15 minutes over Microsoft's 30-minute show. In that hour and 15 minutes, they showed you a lot of shit that they know you're going to want ASAP. Where Microsoft showed you some stuff that was different, but it's not anything that I'm looking at. Like, looking at this list, they're new games. That's weird. It's like, here's some new IPs that we want you to get into. And I don't look at these new IPs and go like, I'd rather play this new IP over something that Sony's showing me right now, even with the new stuff.
So then I guess when Sony was saying, or the head of Sony was saying that they want to make sure that when you play a PS5 that it's going to be well worth the price that you pay for it. And I guess they're showing that with the software that's going to be available for the hardware.
Yeah. Exclusives aren't everything, but it's a good percentage of what we're doing. Like, if you're going to get a better version of a multi-platform game on a Series X over a PS5, then, that makes your decision as far as which way you're going to go. But if there are some games that look fantastic on a PS5 and I know that I'm only going to get them there, then I'm going to go there. I don't want... When I bought the PS3, I bought it for Metal Gear Solid 4, and there were a couple of other games in the long run that came out. But all my everything in my PS3 collection they're all exclusives. None of them are multi-platform. For this current generation, because I got the Xbox One first, I stayed on that platform. And anything I got on the PS5, either was something like, because we were going to play it together co-op, and you had a PS4 at the time and not an Xbox. So I was like, okay, I'll get this game on a PS4. Don't worry about it. But now, knowing that you're going to get both systems, you have to make me continue to spend this money. or you have to, or you gotta, if money wasn't a major option, like if money was something where it's like, yo, I can only spend on this thing for the next 6 to 8 months before I get the opposite system. If that was the case, like Sony won. That reveal, like it takes you there.
Wow.
The only great thing about what's amazing about what Microsoft is doing, though, you gotta give credit where credit's due. Backwards compatibility is fantastic, and how they're doubling down on it this time, like even more than they did the last time. Peripheral compatibility from the Xbox One leading into this one, so it makes it I don't have to buy new controllers and whatever. That's a fantastic thing too. Game Pass is going to strive even harder on this end to do to continue to give us awesome games. So that's great. What big heavy hitters does Microsoft have exclusively? So we know we're going to get, in this new system, we know we're going to get a Halo. We know we're going to get a new Gears at one point. We know we're getting Hellblade. We're not seeing we haven't heard anything on anything from the new studios they've acquired, which hopefully and we'll talk about this later with what's coming in July. Hopefully they'll show something from the new studios. We haven't seen anything about that. So I understand they're keeping everything close to the chest, but you want us to spend this money on your console and not the other one. Sony kept it so close to the chest and let Microsoft come out and do what it did, and then came out with a banger. Now Microsoft has to come out this July inside Xbox. Can't be 30 minutes of nothing or 30 minutes of a couple of trailers and hope for the best. It has to be some real bangers. We have to see something on Halo Infinite. We have to see something on Hellblade. If you have anything from the Ascent to Medium, whatever you have, show us more on that. I don't care about Assassin's Creed Valhalla being this big thing again that you're pushing for a new console, because I can get that on another system. Unless you're the lead platform for this and you're going to give me more on your platform than the other one, then don't show it to
me. Yeah, I mean, I agree on that point. I mean, when it comes to I guess with Xbox, I mean, if they're gonna do their show in July, they're gonna have to showcase the heavy hitters.
Yes.
They have to show these games where we want your money, and this is what we're going to offer you if you do decide to get our system. Besides the whole delivery system, which is a nice little cushion, but at the same time, like it's like you want to. If you buy a new system, you're buying it for the games that's gonna come out for. So I do believe a library of games are important, because that's what was the problem with this generation, where a couple of good games came out, and then in the middle we had a whole bunch of nothing, and then in the middle of it we got spurts of games, and then at the end that's when you got the tail end of it.
Yeah.
And I
Definitely.
think that Microsoft I feel that they're kind of doing that same thing again, where they'll give you a couple of nice games here and there, but it might be a whole lot of nothing in between until that next stage, and then another whole lot of nothing. And then by the time a new generation console comes out, by the tail end of that one, they'll release whatever they have left.
Yeah.
And that's, as a consumer, that's very unencouraging, because nobody wants to buy a paperweight. When it
Nope.
comes to these consoles, you want to get the most bang out of it. You want to make sure that if you can spend X amount of dollars, that you're going to be playing this thing.
Exactly.
And I think that Microsoft should definitely up the ante. Like you said, they bought 12 studios.
I think they're on 12 studios at this point.
Yeah, so they got to knock on their door and be like, listen, we bought you up, so you got to come out with some good shit, because we need a library to kind of counter what Sony is doing. And that's what they really need to do right now. And hopefully we'll see what this state of play, I believe, is a state of play, right?
For what Microsoft is inside Xbox.
Inside Xbox. Let's see what they show in July, and I'm hoping they'll show more games for that system.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we might as well just go into it now. I think they'll probably go into the Game Pass stuff and talk about that. Probably, I don't know if they're going to push more on back compat. We know it's coming. We know they stopped in December, like November, December, to really start pushing it toward the Series X. Everybody's asking for new information on certain games and exclusives, and it's more than just trying to push that. Oh, this is a more powerful platform, and you'll get a better gameplay experience here. Like, we don't care about that anymore. Like, this isn't what happened. That was definitely shown in the 360 PS3 era. Where the better the games played better on a 360. We're past that now. Like, on a PS5, when from PS4 to Xbox One, certain games play just as well. Some games play better here and better there. On the One X, a lot of those games play better on the One X than the Pro. But I don't think that's not the marketing thing we need right now. If that's what your marketing push is going to be, like, oh, it plays better here, but you don't have anything else to show me, then you're going to end up losing more people. I don't care how great Game Pass is. I don't care how great backwards compatibility is. People are looking for that experience, this certain experience, and Sony is showing, here's this. We're giving you a brand new experience. We don't care as much about backwards compatibility as Microsoft does, but we're going to give you here's a couple of games you can have that you can play on here. But we're looking to move forward, and this is how we're showing you we're moving forward. And that's what's key right now. It's like, okay, you're showing us they have a plan, and here's the plan, and we're seeing what they're just moving forward with technology and try to do all this other stuff. Microsoft is pulling all this stuff along with them, but we need to see something for the plan going forward with your new technology. What are you going to do with gaming? What new IPs are you going to start pushing from your new studios? So again, make it like, yo, I got all these games to play on my Xbox, plus I got all these new games to play. And these studios that they acquired, like, they're known for these things. Oh, cool. They've also got me, we got them doing this too. I think that's what we need to see. I want to see more coming out of Microsoft's corner. If you want me to pay the $500-$600 that you're possibly going to have me pay for this new system.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, Microsoft could easily be ahead of it, only if they actually, they, of course, they keep them backwards compatible, because that's important, but at the same time move forward with new software, because playing the old games is great, and I gotta give them credit. I mean, that's the reason why I got the Xbox One, because of backwards compatibility, and opened up a ton of library for me, and I enjoy it, and I commend them for it. But
Yeah.
you need new games, you need new software to play. I mean, you don't want to just have one or two games that come out, and then, like you said, there's nothing in between. Like, Game Pass is good, it's excellent for what it is, but
Yeah.
what good is it if there's nothing new to play on? I mean,
True.
it's just a backlog of old games.
Definitely true, man. Let me see. With that being said, which is so, what is your hopeful price point for both systems?
Hopeful price point. I'm hoping, you know, that the Amazon leaks are true. I'm hoping that, I think, the way how the economy is, and looking at it from a consumer point of view, you have to pretty much price these consoles fairly. That's what made the PS4, to me, why they won the console wars, because they gave you a 399 price tag on it, and it was much easier, more affordable to spend 399 on it than actual 499 for the Xbox.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think, if the leaks are true, I'm hoping that the 499 aspect of it is true. I think 499 is a right price point for that system, and 399 for the digital. And even if let's say that these companies might take a loss in the beginning, but you gotta look at it at the longevity of it all, because I believe what happened with the PS4 is they took some kind of loss, but at the same time they gained all that back, especially with all the sales, millions of consoles that has been sold out,
Okay.
with the
Yeah.
PS4.
Yeah.
So
They're
to try
definitely ahead. They're way ahead. Way
yeah.
ahead.
So to try to rush and make that money back ASAP would be a mistake.
Yeah.
I think they should keep on with the same mentality of this console, and make it and price it fairly, price it at 499, and within 6 or 7 years before we get the next generation, they'll make that money back, and hopefully and then some. What Microsoft, on the other hand, depending who does the reveal first, they have the ability to either undersell Sony or price match. So that's what I'm waiting to see.
Well, Phil Spencer did say that he's been given leniency, like some leniency, I guess, or maneuverability as far as price is concerned. So I think that they're looking there's a price they're looking at, but I don't know if they're going to wait for Sony to budge first and put out a price point
Mm-hmm.
and then come out with their own. But whatever, let's see, because like I said, I think we had this conversation off there, and we already know that they're going, whatever the price is going to be, you're going to have people who are locked into the product that are going to pay that much anyway.
Yes.
So I don't know if that amount pushes, the 20, 30 million and, consoles out there. But, I think that's what we can do. We can look at, like, just let's hope for like a $500 price point, which I'm comfortable with. We know that we're going to have peripherals probably at $60. The new DualSense controller might be $9,000. You don't know. but yeah, let's look at it that way. That'll be a way to go.